with the intro. Okay. My name is Ife. I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Although I have been able to travel to many places, Milwaukee is my hometown. When I was in Dominican Republic in 2008, studying sex workers and women situation in the Dominican Republic, I met this woman named LaShawndra, and she invited me to come to India to work at her school as a volunteer and to teach the girls about the cameras and have an opportunity to film them as well. After applying for my master's, I knew that I wanted to go to India and make a film about this school. And as I began to research, I learned that a lot of girls are married at very young ages, especially in the rural parts of the country, and are without an education, and therefore spend most of their lives either as housewives or as hard laborers or even in the sex trade. And I discovered that at the school, through education, the girls were able to prolong their period of adolescence, and they were able to have more of what we in the Western society would consider a normal childhood. Having that education and having that period of adolescence and having that period where they could be children was unique and in and of itself an act of defiance, going against tradition and against protocol by doing something that girls are not expected to do. Some people would say that I'm a feminist filmmaker because a lot of my films are about women or about the relationship between men and women. I definitely would consider myself a feminist. It's obviously a system that doesn't work. So that's why I'm a feminist, because I think that the patriarchal system is a system that's destructive, whereas the matriarchal system is often much more constructive. And at this point in our human development, we need to be constructing. We need to be developing. We need to be growing and nourishing and nurturing things. I've also been greatly influenced by women like Bell Hooks, feminist writers, Zua Alaouid, who wrote Women at Point Zero about women in Egypt. I had wonderful teachers in my high school. I had wonderful teachers in college who just opened my mind to all the different things that women could do. And it really encouraged me to want to go into the field of anthropology. Especially my most favorite anthropologist is Katherine Dunham, who was also a dancer. And I myself am a cultural anthropologist who specializes in visual documentations. So performance art is a visual art, and I study performance as well as video and film. And I'm greatly interested in how we as people, put on the act. And that's what Katherine Dunham really brought to the surface, was that culture was really an act, a performance. And other anthropologists much more noted for that have arisen, but really she was the first. She embodied it. And she was a black woman, and she traveled, and she was a trailblazer. I also really admire Margaret Mead, who did work with women. And she never really said she was a feminist, but her work spoke to that. She went out and made films at a time when only men anthropologists were making films. And she went out and made films about women and about mothering and about very traditional roles that women might play in cultures. But still, she made it known that women were a part of society and that they were not to be ignored or forgotten or overlooked. Now, in this day and age, feminism has become a dirty word. And people think it's something wrong with being a feminist because, women have everything and feminists are just, complaining, and they're not really, in touch with what's really happening. They're just off in their high horse. But with that same thought, that is people deconstructing the power of feminism. That's people trying to say that there is no power in women speaking up or in women gathering or in women being collective. And that's just not true. And so I want to reclaim the word feminism as something that we as women more so embrace, because we know that there is a sisterhood that we belong to, that there's a network and a support system where if I want to be a strong woman, if I want to go out in a career, even if I want to stay home and take care of my children, there's other women that I can communicate with, that I can work with, that I can collaborate with. To me, it's feminism in action, and that's much more important. We have the means by which to communicate globally right now without anybody else. So we really need to take advantage of that and start sharing that experience and start letting people know that what happens over here is affecting what happens over there. And this is how. And it is hard to grasp at first, but you know, for instance, when the protests happened in Iran about 2 years ago now, I mean, it wasn't because of CNN or Fox News Network that people knew about that revolution. It was because people had cell phones with the internet and cameras and could take pictures and send that picture to Twitter and send that picture to Facebook and send that picture around the world in a way that no professional or television station could ever capture it. They were right there. As a visual anthropologist, I would really like to see my films used as educational material in a non-traditional way. So being able to use it in community centers, being able to use it in after-school programs, being able to use it as art installations, being able to use it just about anywhere you can, you know, put in a DVD, and getting a discussion started about education, about youth, about globalization, and just be able to motivate people into action as far as wanting to continue either their own education, to support others' education, or to themselves become involved in activism locally and abroad. So I really want to see it be used as a positive tool for any community, for any neighborhood, for any organization, where they can start a discussion about women, about education, about globalization, about activism, and just use it to host discussions, use it to host events, use it to host good times, an opportunity for people to really expand their experiences and their mind. And really, as an anthropologist, I want to continue to work with the girls in India and continue to help them share their experience, and by doing so continue to foster this act of revolution where young women and girls are continuing their education and continuing to become involved in the global economy. So I'm willing to, you know, make films about anything. I would love to make films about education, and especially about African Americans and Africans around the world. You know, I'm willing to share my expertise and my own experiences, and I just want to continue to work. I want to continue to do this kind of work because I do think it's important and I do think it's possible, and with people's support and help and good ideas and good friends, it can continue, it can grow, and it can become something that can be beneficial to people all around the world. So, if you want to help, if you want to get involved and collaborate with me, either by making a film or hosting a film screening or hosting discussions or hiring me for special events, please let me know. You can always email me at freedomloverfilms@gmail.com. You can also visit my website and find out all the background on me that you need at freedomloverfilms.webs.com. You can also find me on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm out there in the cyber world. You can Google any of my projects. You can find me on YouTube, and you know, hopefully you can just get connected, contact me, get connected with me, and we can work together and see what we can accomplish.